Good morning, dear students. I'm Professor K. Mageshwari, Department of English, KCS Kasinagar College of Arts and Science. Today, we are going to see Eliot's poetic impersonality theory. Actually, Eliot was one among the greatest critics of 20th century. His contribution to literary theory were three in number. One is dissociation of sensibility, which came as a review article in the book called The Metaphysical Poets. And the name of the second theory is poetic impersonality, which we are going to see now. It came in two essays named Tradition and Individual Talent. And the third theory is known as objective correlative. It was developed in T.S. Eliot's essay on Hamlet. The idea of impersonality was partly Eliot's way of reflecting current thinking about poetry. Actually, through the theory, poetic impersonality, T.S. Eliot questions the subjective attitude of romantic writers. Especially Wordsworth and Coleridge, they expressed their own ideas as well as viewpoint, emotion through their poetry. But according to T.S. Eliot, any poem can attain its own genuineness as well as greatness once it possesses impersonality. That means T.S. Eliot considers there must be a detachment between the writer and the writing. The writer should not express his own personality, rather, he should escape from his own personality. That means poetry must be the medium for the writer to express his own depersonalization. Now let's take the example from Wordsworth. How T.S. Eliot considers romantics are not at all possessing poetic impersonality. The lines which are taken from Tintin Abbey poem talks about Wordsworth's personal experience which he had along with his sister Dorothy Wordsworth once he visited the place called Tintin Abbey. To the same place, Wordsworth visits after 5 years. And what are the changes taken place in his own mind in the 5 years of time is expressed through his Tintin Abbey lines. So the whole poem completely conveys only the subjective attitude of Wordsworth towards nature. Wordsworth does not maintain any distance between himself and his own writing. He does not use anyone as his own mouthpiece at all. How he treated nature. According to Wordsworth, nature was always a nurse to him. So, how it gave him solace and comfort, everything was conveyed through the poem. But T.S. Eliot objects this one because the greatness of the poet can be conveyed only the writer has the impersonality quality, which means the poet should not express his own idea, thoughts, or emotion. If at all he expresses, the quality of the poem gets declined. So, the writer may be the reason for the declining of the quality of his own literary work. That's why T.S. Eliot says that the best parts of the poet's work are not those which are most original, but those in which the voice of his predecessors can be most clearly heard speaking through him. Only the writer, when he conveys the ideas of his own past people as well as the great masters, then only the poem becomes a successful one. According to T.S. Eliot, this theory, which means the theory called poetic impersonality, seem to be completely away from the current literary scenario. But it was in some other name in Russia. The name given to poetic impersonality by the Russian critics was defamiliarization, which means there is no familiarity of the writer in his own poetic work, otherwise, in his own literary work. The same viewpoint is expressed through Defense of Poetry by Shelley. There, Shelley expresses the viewpoint that the originality of the poet can be expressed when he has objective quality, when he detaches himself. Otherwise, the poetic emotion can evoke only aesthetic effect when the writer possesses objectiveness. So, this objectivity of the writer leads to get a better experience as well as better poem out of him. However, all the writers, especially like Shelley as well as the Russian critics, however, they have named it differently. This man, T.S. Eliot alone, made this attempt, which means maintaining poetic impersonality as the main aspect of attaining greatness in writing poetry. That's why we can call Eliot was the first to make the poetic impersonality as the cornerstone of a whole poetic aesthetic. But the same aesthetic effect was insisted by Shelley through the work called Defense of Poetry, as well as the same thing was stressed by Russian critics in the name of defamiliarization.